Let's open up Ariel's prop stop and welcome back Ariel Epstein. Ariel, the guys, Mitch and Paulie, were talking about that Arizona-Miami game, and they're advocating kind of a low run scoring type night. We'll kick off your first of 4 plays tonight with something very similar. Tell us how you're playing that.
I'm playing the first 5 under of 3 runs at -105 on BetMGM in this Arizona-Miami game. Similar reasoning. I love how I'm on the same page as those guys over there in Vegas because we're targeting the same games tonight. This first 5 under looks so good because Arizona's starting pitcher, Zach Gallen, it's a revenge spot. He used to play for the Miami Marlins, and this is the first time he's facing them since getting traded. Gallen and Lopez, also both the starting pitchers, have the top 5 best ERAs in all of baseball, with hitters hitting 118 against Gallen, which is the lowest batting average against a pitcher so far this season. Pablo Lopez, on the other hand, 18.1 scoreless innings pitched so far. Give me the first 5 under 3 runs in this game.
All right, which opened at a -105, so that's your first of 4 plays today. You've also got something from this Mariners-Astros opener. The Mariners, by the way, get there in rough shape. They've lost 4 of 6 against the Rays and Marlins. They finally get to the 3rd leg of this long trip. And they've got Marco Gonzalez on the mound, who had an abbreviated start last time around. He was hitting the wrist. He had a full bullpen session, though. Scott Servais says he's okay, good to go. What's your play, Houston and the Mariners?
I'm going with Mariners money line. It's at +115 on BetMGM. I love this for the pitching matchup. You mentioned Marco Gonzalez is starting for Seattle. He has a great ERA when up against Houston. He has a 1.29 ERA in his last 3 starts against the Astros. Looking over at the Astros starting pitcher, Jake Odorizzi, a 5.36, going 2-5 in his last 10 games against the Mariners. Sometimes pitchers just don't pitch well against certain teams. It's one of those matchups for Odorizzi. Give me the Mariners a money line. I love the dog.
Okay, yeah, a little plus money on that one. Here's a potentially fishy line for you, and I don't know that you're playing a side in this, but the Rays and A's open a 3-game series in Oakland tonight. We remember that Oakland took 3 out of 4 in St. Pete earlier in the season. Beside the line, is there something regarding the matchup that you like, Drew Rasmussen and Daulton Jeffries?
I'll tell you this, I'm not doing any Rasmussen under K props anytime soon because he ended up going way over the last time that I tried to bet an under. I'll go to the other side, though. I'm going to take the Oakland starter, Daulton Jeffries, over 3.5 strikeouts. The only concern for this number is that the Rays could hit him hard and put 5 up and maybe he gets taken out. Otherwise, from a K-rate matchup, this should be a great spot for Jeffries. The over 3.5 strikeouts looks good because right-handers are 7-5 over-under, averaging just over 5 strikeouts per start when up against the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa has been one of the most strikeout-prone teams in baseball the last couple of years. I'm going with the over 3.5 strikeouts on Jeffries tonight.
Yeah, and if I might shed a little insight into your method here, tell me if I'm right about this. It's not so much about Daulton Jeffries, who's gone over 3.5 strikeouts in only 1 of his 4 starts. It's more a play that the Rays have a lot of strikeout in their lineup. Am I right about that?
You're right. It's because when you look at the games that Jeffries pitched, he only went over this number that one time against the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles had the 2nd highest K rate in baseball. That's how you could really break it down. If you look at the way that these pitchers pitch against the other high K rate teams, then you'll have a better idea of how they'll do against high K rate teams. Whereas if you go up against the Astros or the Royals, those teams, if you go under your K prop, makes sense because those teams are the least strikeout prone teams in baseball. It's all about the matchup.
Got it. So you like Jeffries over 3.5, but you don't like it enough to make your Diamond K play of the day. This is your pitching prop play that you like the most. From which game and on which side do we find it tonight?
It's from the Showcase game right here on MLB Network. It's the Atlanta Braves game up against the New York Mets. I'm taking the Atlanta Braves starter, Max Fried, under 5.5 strikeouts. Talking before about those low K-rate teams in baseball, that's the New York Mets. They have the 3rd lowest K-rate in all of MLB. Left-handers, they're averaging just under 5 strikeouts per start, 4.6 to be exact, against the Mets. Fried's only gone over 5.5 strikeouts one time this year. I'm going with the under 5.5 strikeouts against the Mets lineup that doesn't like to strike out much.
I didn't think you were going to go that way. Under 5.5 on Max Fried for the Diamond K play of the day, which, by the way, Ariel is 10-4 on.